Good afternoon, Chili Peppers. It's Mrs. Miller again, and right now I'm going to talk to you about your part one of your class activities for week 2. All right? So if you're in classroom, you had the agenda explanation, and then you have the James Thurber review activity. Okay? So you'll see there's answers to the chart and the form. There's a copy of the article, and there is a homework reflection, which is a form to fill out where you kind of reflect on what you learned, what you might need some more work on in this area of personal narrative, understanding everything. All right? In the answer key, you'll see there's a chart. This was James B's. I thought he did a good job of being very succinct and got to the point very quickly. Obviously, there are all kinds of ways you could have described the different ways people thought, different people's perspectives, right? The one that people were a little fuzzy on was grandfather. James said he was not at the house on the night the bed fell, but he thought the Civil War was still going on decades after it ended, which is absolutely correct. He refers to the Army of the Potomac, which was one of the Union armies, I think, and he's off fighting that war because he thinks that it's still then. When he was young, presumably, he was in the Civil War, so now he's just a little confused. All right, you also have answers to the form. I know you didn't have your form answers on the actual document, but just go through these and make sure you understand why the answers are what they are. If you don't, please just email me. You did need to read the introduction section in order to answer the first 2 questions about when the article was written, and also just knowing that it was nonfiction. It can seem like fiction because it's very much like a story, but as Thurber says in the first paragraph, still it did take place. And then also the first page talks about how he is an essayist, so he writes personal narratives which are true. Okay? Also, just careful reading was important. For instance, in the paragraph about Briggs, right, and his camphor, using camphor to make sure he wakes up when he thought he was going to die in his sleep. There's also a lot about the ants. Thurber kind of goes on a flashback that's very long about his crazy ants, and so that main idea would be about his crazy relatives, not just about Briggs. Okay. Be sure you look at the answers for initiating event and climax to make sure that you understand why those things are what they are, and do the reflection when you're finished. All right. You also were to write an anecdote for last week, and those were great. I loved those. If you would like to share them in our live session, I assume we will have live sessions soon, and that would be great because I thought they were funny. All right, and that's all for now. I'll do another video for the second part.